Unit, Paul from Magpie 24/7, back again after Newcastle United drew 2-2 at Ellen Road in West Yorkshire this afternoon. Now it's a point that does more favours for Newcastle than what it does for Leeds. Leeds, of course, balls deep in relegation trouble, and they could be in trouble with the FA, the Premier League, or whoever looks after these sort of things after the game, but I'll get onto that very, very shortly. But yeah, a 2-2 draw when Newcastle United were winning it 2-1 coming to the latter stages of the game. You would say that that would be disappointing. However, given the fact that we could have gone 2-0 down in the game early on to escape that situation, if you'd offered me a point when the penalty kick was awarded and when Bamford was about to step up, I'd have absolutely and utterly ripped your fucking hands off, which is probably what the Leeds United supporter was doing with Eddie Howe later on in the game. However, yeah, 2-2, we take it on, and we know that if we win our 2 home games coming up against Brighton and then against Leicester, then Newcastle United are in the Champions League, which is unbelievable, and it is literally a cherry on top of the fantastic cake that has been this fucking season. You know, regardless to what happens between now and the end of this campaign, regardless, it has been a great season, whatever competition we end up in. You know, I think Europe was towards the very, very top of our expectations this season, so I'm more than happy, no matter where we finish. But I think there's a fantastic chance of getting the Champions League with these 2 games coming up. You know, Brighton will be difficult, but again, at St James's Park, with our backing, under the floodlights, the players that we've got are back us to get the 2 victories that we need in these 2 games. And then it doesn't matter what Liverpool do, it doesn't matter what anybody else fucking does for that matter. Newcastle United will be back in the Champions League. It sounds also pretty good, that, but yeah, back to today's game. And Newcastle start the game. I don't think our lines particularly were great in this one. We started not at the races, and we've given them too much respect. And again, with the greatest of respect, this is a Leeds United side who are having an awful season, yet you know they've taken 2 points off us at the end of it. They looked as if they were more up for it. We knew what was coming from Sam Allardyce's team. He's coming in the hot seat for a short period. He needs a reaction, he needs a response. You knew he'd have literally been feeding them raw meat all week, and that's how they came out of the blocks. However, our defence, again, still technically the joint best defence in the league, despite conceding 2 today. But it was it was too easy. The first goal was just too easy. You want to start the game 10-15 minutes really strong, really tight, really compact, keeping in your lines, not conceding, and quieting down the crowd. Now the crowd, they did quieten down, there's no doubt about that. I could only hear the Newcastle United fans. Of course, Kyle, he was at the match today. He was in the away end. We've got quite a few videos coming up. I'll put some after this video as well, actually. You know, to get a sample of what it was like inside the stadium today. I'll put them after the video that I'm doing now, and put them up across our socials as well, so check those out. But yeah, you know, you wanted to get through the first period, we didn't. They go 1-0 up, and you sort of like, oh no, and then you're looking at the clock being, look, we did this against Southampton, we came back, calmness and all that sort of thing. And then when they get the award of the penalty kick, which, you know, you can't have really too many complaints about, you're thinking 2-0 down, it's a long way back from 2-0 down, despite the fact that we've got goals in this team and goals from all over. Up he steps, and up steps Nick Pope. In the middle of our goal, Nick Pope. And yeah, you know, I've seen some people have a few grumbles about him for the first goal. I thought the initial save was cracking, to be honest, from Nick Pope. But again, another fantastic penalty stop. Not the first time this season that he's done that. But yeah, a great save. And you're thinking from there, like, now come on lads, wake up, pull the finger out your asses. You're in a contest here, you're in a battle, and like I said on the preview, if we match Leeds for battle and fight and determination, our quality will show out and will prevail over the 90 minutes. That is what I felt before the game. And literally, not more than a few minutes later, we're back into it. Callum Wilson penalty, 1-1, and yet from that moment you're feeling confident that we will go on, despite the fact that the refereeing, let's just say, because I don't want to just whinge about the fucking referees week in, week out, but the refereeing was, well, it was piss poor, wasn't it? Let's face it. It was fucking dilute at best. It was fucking dilute pop when you're after a fucking bottle of Coke. And in this weather today, it's fucking boiling. I mean, everybody's dying for a nice ice cold beverage or two. But yeah, the refereeing was horrendous. No yellow cards. They're still jumping in. They're still literally looking to fucking break ankles and take names and that sort of thing. But I thought after we scored the equaliser, I thought we were the better team for the rest of the half. We were knocking about. I would have liked to see again a little bit more urgency, a little bit more want on our side. But again, I thought we were the better footballing side without threatening overly for the remainder of that half. You get to half time and one's apiece and you're thinking, look, it's Newcastle's game. If we want it, it's ours to go and get. Eventually we do get another goal, and again it's another penalty kick. Why it took as long as what it did, I do not fucking know. These referees need to be sponsored by Specsavers at this stage, because honestly, why you need 1,000 replays for something that Mr. Magoo, who's at the back of the fucking stand, is shouting saying, I'm sorry Flower, but it's fucking obvious. I do not know. It's like a get out of jail card. They want the VAR to referee the games so that they can't get into any shit for getting their decision wrong. But it was obvious as the day is long that it was a spot kick. Eventually it was given. Why there wasn't another yellow card at that stage for the player, I do not know. It was a complete not a gift for Newcastle as it was. Callum Wilson steps up again. Watching Owsbury, you talk about game management and taking the piss. Nothing gets said when it's the opposition, but when it's Newcastle, of course, it is a huge thing made of it. But yeah, the Leeds keep trying to take the piss, and ultimately Callum Wilson is like, you can take as long as you want, Flower. You're the ones who are desperate for the 3 points to avoid relegation. So he gets on his line, and Callum Wilson, like I say, as cool as you want, cool as a cucumber, the coolest man in the stadium, steps up, bang, 2-1, and you're thinking, right, let's see it out. Now, we did have another goal, well, we certainly had the ball in the back of the net through St Maximin. That one was disallowed for a tight offside decision in the build-up play, which, disappointing. You know, we made substitutions, we were brave, bold, went for it, but it just wasn't to be. They get back into it, of course, prior to all this substitution shenanigans and St Maximin goals rolled out through a wicked deflection of Kieran Trippier. It was a bit like pinball around in our box, and it goes into the back of the net, and you're like, when your fucking looks against you, it's against you. But you know, I think on the whole, like I touched upon before, when we could have gone 2-0 down, you'd have snapped somebody's arm off to escape with a point. You look at it and you take it into context of what they did last time out against Manchester City. We struggled to get past them in Sam Allardyce's first game in charge of Leeds, and you probably think that's a decent point, given the fact that if you don't look at the table, don't worry about the table and everything else that's going on, and just think 2 wins in the next 2 home games. Yes, it's against a very difficult Brighton side, a very good Brighton side, lots of credit to them, but we are capable, we are more than capable of getting that. And the game literally just dies out, 2-2 at the end. There was finally a red card for the lad who should have been sent off fucking earlier, let's face it. I mean, they could have been down, whilst I'm touching upon refereeing decisions, they could have been down to 10 men, 9 men even, to be honest. The referee, I mean, at times I thought he forgot his fucking cards, he'd left them in the dressing room, but at the end of the game, they were down to 10 men. but you know, we're talking about literally stoppage time at this point. We didn't have enough time to really do anything else, create any much more chances, and we go back with a point. However, there was something little at the end that I struggle to understand how in this day and age it goes on. Now, bearing in mind the stewards are around the away ends and they're tight as a fucking duck's arse. They're like 2 coats of bastard gloss all around the away fans who'd be no trouble during the game whatsoever at all. And then for the home fans, I don't know how somebody can get out of the stands, get into the Newcastle United technical area and confront and put his hands on Eddie Howe, and it takes Newcastle coaches to intervene at first before eventually stadium staff, before these fucking stewards. These, in a lot of ways, I know it's probably not a great job and stuff like that, but it's jobs worth. You can't fucking stand up, do this, do that, or do the other, and they're literally around you like a fly around shit when you're in the stadium normally watching the match. But somebody just walks into the technical area for Newcastle, and where's the reaction? It was so slow, and they're just lucky, you know, he didn't have a weapon or out like that. To be honest, I was surprised when I saw it happening, to be honest, because it's an early kickoff on a Saturday, so it's like, it's not as if he should be tanked up or something like that. It's not as if it's an 18-year-old. He's had 1 or 2 fucking drinks. It's got to his bastard head, and he thinks he's fucking hard as nails, and he'll go home. What he's wanting to achieve, I don't know. It's not as if it had a particular needle in the match, to be honest. But this absolute prick, this absolute moron, comes up to Eddie Howe, puts his hand. Eddie Howe's looking at the game. He's trying to work out what to do, what needs to be done. He's engrossed in the game. And this absolute fucking clown comes over. And yeah, eventually the stadium staff, the stewards and everything escort him off. And I hope he gets a criminal record. I hope he's banned from every stadium for fucking life, to be honest. What an absolute and utter tit end this fucking bloke is. What is he trying to achieve? What at all does he think he's going to be able to do? You know, I cannot compute how that went on at all. Eddie Howe spoke about it. The BT made a little bit of a laugh and joke about it after the game, on about meeting some of the locals and stuff like that, like it was a fucking laughing matter. You know, bang out of order. Yeah, and hopefully, like I say, Leeds put a statement out and just say, look, this fucking tit is banned for life. So, you know, how would you like that? A moment of absolute stupidity is going to cost you from ever being able to watch your team, support your team in person again. That's how it should be. And then the police need to get involved and to deal with him in the full force of the law that's absolutely possible in my book. Just relieved that, like I say, he didn't have a bottle, didn't have a weapon, and he didn't, severely injure. It was just a slight push. The issue is not what he did in a lot of ways, but the fact that it could have been a lot worse. And in this day and age, in the Premier League, we're not talking about a fucking farmers market type league, a fucking pub league or something like that. It's the Premier League. It should be the very, very best, and that's going on. Contrast it to the away end. Contrast it to all the stewards around the away supporters, and it's a joke. It's an absolute fucking joke. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with regards to that. But 2-2 at the end of it probably isn't going to do a lot for Leeds United's survival hopes. Hopefully for us, it's just another point towards Champions League qualification. Everything crossed for that, but at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of the video, whatever happens, it's been a great season for us. We've got to take it with regards to that. But 2 home games, 2 fantastic chances to be able to really achieve something this season. A cup final, which we've never taken cups seriously for fucking years and years and years and years, and hopefully Champions League at the end of it. Happy days. And speaking about happy days, I want to get finished Hopefully get to the beer garden, a couple of drinks with the family, and enjoy the rest of this rather pleasant day. So yeah, I'll leave you with some of the videos that Kyle took inside Ellen Road. We'll have them across our socials as well. Kyle will be back with his thoughts from the away end very, very shortly. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned. We're still Champions League bound. Keep thinking positive, and I'll speak to you later.